Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for the week of October 10th. This week, definitely check out astrojar.com. We've added a bunch of new readers, reorganized some things on the site. You know, we had a bunch of issues because I built it during a retrograde, of course. And so definitely check it out. Like I said, support those readers. There's a bunch of new readers on there, a bunch of old readers on there, everything. Support everybody that you enjoy, definitely. Like I said, a lot of these people, we built it so that people could get exposure and get their readings out there. So definitely check it out. But let's see what's coming in for you this week. All right, maybe having dealt with some obstacles last week or at some point last week as well. Maybe involving your health as well. Maybe some of you got sick or something along those lines. But it looks like that will correct itself as well. And I do think that there could be two very different weeks. I think for those of you that are, closer to the Leo side of things, it's interesting. I think, yeah, there's two messages. You know what? We're going to talk about this when we get to these cards. So I'll talk about that more towards the end. But you start off the Eight of Spades. Watch your health. A lot of you could be coming off of some difficulties or some obstacles from like last week and things like that. But just know, the rest of it clears up right away this week. But maybe some of you are thinking about it. This card can also come up like when we just like are working way too hard. I mean, like we need to take a break or something like that. So it can be a card that says, maybe it's time for you to take a break. You need a vacation or you just need some rest. It looks like a rest week for a lot of you. So a lot of you might be doing that anyway. Like a lot of you might just be taking a load off and kind of taking this week to rest and relax and just allow things to happen, which I think would be a good thing for you to do. This can also be a good card as well, at least the way I read it, because it can represent working very hard. So a lot of you just could be coming off a lot of work, and you could actually see a lot of success because of that work. Six of Diamonds. So a lot of you maybe got really busy and did a bunch of work and things like that, and now you're just kind of done and waiting to see the rewards. I'm also getting that some of you might be a little disappointed. You might have done a lot of work, not seen the rewards. Just be patient, especially with this card here, because I feel like a lot of you maybe put a lot of work in, you expected more from something, and this could also be outside of work too. It could be like you put work into a relationship or something and you expected more, but just know that it did work. There's just like a little bit of a delay here. It's like there's a gap in the middle. That's the best way I can describe it. So, please stay positive about that if you're one of those people who feels a little disappointed about some work or something like that. Just know that things are going to work out, just not for whatever reason there's a bit of a delay, but things will clear up there. This is a great card for travel. It is also a great card for paying off debts and things like that as well. It's a great card for negotiation. Sixes, for me, are negotiation cards. This is a great card to, negotiate debt, for negotiate loans and things like that you're paying off. Like I said, it might be one of those cards where you call up, maybe you only owe a little bit more on a car or something like that, but maybe you could knock a couple $100 off or something like that just by calling them up. This is a card where it says, that might not work, but also it's like, you don't know if you don't ask, if you don't ask, you'll never get anything. So it's kind of like one of those things that says, hey, why don't you just maybe go ask for money off of if you pay off a loan quickly or pay off a debt quickly or something like that. You could be pleasantly surprised with this card. And it's interesting because it's followed up by the Ace of Spades, which is existing problems being resolved. So a lot of you could very quickly be able to get something corrected this week, and you could even get, like I said, it feels like it's weird messages coming in. It feels like money off a debt or something like that if you just call. I'm also getting the message that a lot of you could have something wrong with you, like physically or something, and I want to say that this message has come up for Cancer in the past as well. And I'm getting that maybe some of you are also being fearful of going to the doctor or hesitant to go to the doctor or something like that, or the dentist, or one of these things. And it might not be health as well. It could be like an issue with your car or something like that. But I'm actually getting, if you go and get it taken care of, you're going to find out it's a lot less of a problem than you think it is. Like, it's not going to be what you think is wrong at all. So definitely any problems you're having that you're hesitant to have taken care of, definitely go get those taken care of, because again, it's going to be a lot less than you think it is. It's going to, money wise and just severity wise, it feels like just a lot lower. That's the best way I can describe it. I feel it's going to sound weird, but I feel lower than the problem. So to me, that's kind of a message that things are going to be a lot less. Next, you have the Jack of Spades. So I feel like a lot of you who are closer to the Gemini side of Cancer, so the earlier Cancers, like I'm going to split this up in halves. So like basically the first half of Cancer, if you're born in that first half there. A lot of you could be looking at your resources and actually being very resourceful this week. It's actually this is like a good card. I used to call this card like MacGyver. That's what I think of with this card. It's about like taking a bunch of different things, mixing them together, and coming up with something totally different. So a lot of you actually, I think, are going to be very intelligently thinking about obstacles and problems and coming up with different ways of solving those issues. So, that's pretty interesting as well. And then for those of you born closer to Leo, I think that you this week are actually going to be very open and honest with the people around you, and you're going to have a lot of advice. You might not want to talk, but I think this week it's going to be very important for you to share the things that you have inside of you. This could be in work or friendships or relationships and things like that. But that's the problem with this King of Clubs, is that he has like a lot of good ideas, but he keeps his mouth shut and he doesn't talk. So I think, again, for those of you born second half Cancer, closer to Leo, open up and share your ideas, because you could be, handsomely rewarded this week, at work or in a relationship or at home or something, just by sharing some ideas that you have. They are very important this week. And finally, you have the Five of Spades. So definitely watch your health this week. Take care of yourself. Don't overwork yourself this week. Get plenty of rest. Drink plenty of water. This is just, to me, this card is like a health warning card. It doesn't say anything bad is going to happen. It just says, make sure to take care of yourself. Make sure you don't get sick. But thank you for watching, and enjoy your week.